Have you ever wondered why people don't take you seriously? Why they interrupt you? Why they forget your opinions? Why they cross your boundaries over and over again, even though you never did anything wrong? Here's the shocking truth. Most of the time, people don't just decide to disrespect you. You teach them to, not with your words, not with your big decisions, but with the small, silent signals you send every single day. And the worst part, you don't even realize you're doing it. Today, I'm going to expose those silent ways, the tiny habits that make people stop respecting you, the invisible traps that tell the world, it's okay to ignore me, it's okay to treat me less. And once you see them, you'll never unsee them, because the moment you stop sending those signals, the moment you stand differently, speak differently, show up differently, people will notice. They'll treat you with the respect you've always deserved. So let's talk about it. Here's the first silent way. You laugh when something isn't funny. Sounds harmless, right? But think about it. When someone makes a comment that cuts you down, when someone makes a joke at your expense, and you smile, you laugh, you pretend it doesn't bother you. What are you really doing? You're teaching them that disrespect is a joke, that they can cross your line, and you'll not only allow it, you'll reward it. And people are quick learners. The first time, it's just a joke. The second time, it's sharper. The third time, it's in front of others. And before you know it, your name becomes the punchline. Let me ask you, how many times have you laughed when deep down you were hurt? How many times have you smiled to keep the peace? When you wanted to speak up, that's not keeping peace. That's teaching disrespect. The solution: you don't need to explode. You don't need to fight, but you do need to show, with your silence, with your face, with your words, that disrespect is not entertainment, that you're not a character in someone else's comedy. Because every time you fake a laugh, you shrink your respect. But every time you stand tall, people feel the difference. The second silent way is this: you speak softly when you should speak strongly. I don't mean your voice volume, I mean your conviction. When you share an idea but end it with, if that's okay, or you suggest something but then quickly add, but it's just my opinion. You've already told people not to take you seriously. Think about it. When someone speaks with certainty, you lean in. When someone speaks with doubt, you check out. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter if your idea is brilliant. If you deliver it weakly, people treat it weakly. And here's the hidden trap. You think you're being polite. You think you're avoiding conflict, but what you're really doing is stripping your words of power. And people feel it. They respect you as much as you respect your own voice. So the next time you speak, drop the just. Drop the if that's okay. Drop the softeners that make you sound unsure. Say it clear. Say it once. Say it like you mean it, because people don't respect half, they respect conviction. The third silent way. You overgive. Yes, you heard that right. You give too much. And it destroys respect. At first it feels good. You're always available. You're always helping. You're always saying yes. But here's what happens. The more you give without boundaries, the less people value what you give. Think about it. If water is everywhere, you don't treasure it. If someone says yes to everything, you stop believing their yes even means anything. Respect isn't built by being endlessly available. It's built by having limits, by making your time and your energy mean something. But here's the trap. You're afraid that if you say no, people won't like you. You're afraid they'll walk away. So you keep giving until you're empty, and in the process, you teach people that your energy is cheap, that your time doesn't matter, and once you teach them that, they'll never stop taking. But imagine the opposite. Imagine being the person whose yes means something, whose time is valuable, who gives generously, but not endlessly. That person is respected, because respect isn't about how much you give, it's about how much you protect what you give. The fourth silent way is one of the most dangerous. You hide your achievements. Sounds humble, right? But here's the problem. When you downplay your wins, when you act small, when you hide your growth so others won't feel uncomfortable, you teach people that you're not worth noticing. Because here's the truth. People don't celebrate what they don't see. And if you constantly dim your light, they'll forget it's even there. Now, I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm not talking about bragging. I'm talking about owning what you've worked for. Saying it with confidence, without apology, without guilt. Because the moment you shrink, you tell the world you're small, and the world believes you. Now let's bring this all together. Maybe you've been laughing when it wasn't funny. Maybe you've been speaking softly when you needed to be firm. Maybe you've been overgiving until you're drained. Maybe you've been hiding your achievements, thinking humility would bring respect. But here's the truth. Every silent choice you make teaches people how to treat you. Respect doesn't disappear overnight. It fades, little by little, through these silent signals. And by the time you notice, it feels too late. But it's not too late. Because the same way you taught people to disrespect you, you can teach them to respect you. By laughing only when it's real. By speaking with conviction, by giving with boundaries, by owning your wins. Respect isn't demanded, it's demonstrated, and it starts with you. So here's my question for you. Which of these silent traps have you been falling into? Be honest, because the moment you see it, you can stop it. And when you stop, everything changes. People will look at you differently, they'll hear you differently, they'll respect you differently, not because they suddenly decided to, But because you decided to. So remember this, the silent ways you teach people not to respect you can become the powerful ways you teach them to. The choice is yours. If this message hit you, share your thoughts in the comments. Which trap are you breaking starting today? Hit that like button if you found value in this. And if you want more raw truth about psychology, self-worth, and growth, make sure you subscribe. Because you're not here to stay silent, you're here to rise.